So this is the SB-175 connector. This can handle 600 volts and 175 amps. It's a 2-pin connector. It's ridiculously rugged. Like, this probably is going to sound terrible in the video you're watching, but it's made out of really, really rugged plastic. We've used these things for a long time. You might see these on forklifts, other heavy equipment, but they work really great for batteries. They come in different sizes. These are SB50s. They're slightly smaller for a lower current, lower voltage. But all Andersons are color-coded. I can't plug a black Anderson into a red Anderson. And that applies to all the colors. An orange one only connects to an orange one. So that keeps you from accidentally shorting out cables as you're connecting things together or connecting a load. We use, with our batteries, externally, 1/0 welding cable. This is 1/0 AWG welding cable. Because welding cable is a little bit more malleable, it works really great as an external cable to connect, say, a battery to an inverter. We also have here another cable setup we use. This is an SB-175 into an SB50 using 6-gauge welding cable. We use this to connect a charger to a battery because the current is about 40 amps, which doesn't require such a heavy gauge cable. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk through some of the different things we connect to the ends of these cables and talk about them real quick, and then I'm actually gonna connect some, and I'm gonna show you how they work. So right here I've got some pins from an SB50 Anderson connector. These little pins are designed to mount in the SB50. These are the pins for the SB75. It's a much larger pin. They're designed to hold a 1/0 cable. Stand up there, killer. I got 2 different ring terminals. I got a ring terminal for 6-gauge in 3/8, and I've got a ring terminal for 1/0 in 3/8. And these are all crimpable terminal ends, by the way. And then I've got this specialty terminal end, which is a 4-hole crimped terminal end specific to a type of battery called the GBS cell. They're what we sell on our website from one of our affiliate companies called Elite Power. This is a crimpable end, specifically mounts on the top of the terminals of the cells that they sell through our website. And what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna connect one of these SB-175 pins to a piece of 1/0 cable. Now, when I do this, it's gonna look kind of sloppy because I'm gonna have to bend over and grab that piece of SB-175 and cut it for you. But bear with me, and if you don't see me, I'll be right back. Cool, I made it. So here I got a piece of 1/0 welding cable I just cut. It's a little sloppy, but that's all right. So, first thing, and I'm sure through the magic of modern cinema we can edit the heck out of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna strip back like somewhere between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch of the insulation off this 1/0 welding cable. All right, so I got a nice clean end just like that. And I'm gonna take that clean end, and I'm gonna insert it into my 1/0 SB-175 pin. Pretty simple. Now, there are a lot of commercially available crimpers for crimping on pins like this. I've got this hand-powered hydraulic crimping tool, and I'm gonna go ahead and use that today. And just get the jaws set. Make sure the pin's in the right spot and that my insulation is flush with the bottom of the pin. And then I can go ahead and crimp that pin onto the cable. All right, so my pin's mounted on the cable, pretty simple. That pin would then insert into an SB-175 connector, just like that. You just press it a little bit, it slides right in. You might not be able to see it on camera, but there's a metal tab in there that catches the pin and keeps it from being able to be pulled back out. Now you can get these to release by pressing, I mean, you don't want it to be connected to power because you'll probably hurt yourself, but you can press in on that tab and you can get the pin to release and pull it back out if you need to like change it or change the length or something goes wrong. But that's how it works. Now, if you look closely, you can see on the top of the Anderson, there's 2 markings. There's a positive and a negative. That's for your reference, so you don't make a mistake. And I connected my black negative line into that negative side of the SB-175. It was really simple to do. If you have a good crimping tool, it takes just a couple minutes. We are going to carry some crimping tools on our website. They may not be available on there right this second, but I'm going to get something on there. All right. And I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to strip the other end, and I'm going to show you one of the ring terminals. I think that's where we'll go for this. So I'm going to go ahead and the same thing. I'm going to strip back somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch of insulation from this 1/0 cable. We'll go with a 1/0 ring terminal. I'm going to put it on the cable, get it flush with my insulation on the cable. Grab my handy dandy hydraulic crimper again. Get it in there. This time I'm going to rotate it so that it's horizontally seated in there. I want the crimp creases that it's going to generate to be on the sides of the connector and not on the top and the bottom. All right, looks like it's seated. Go ahead and crimp that down. And that's really simple. Now, before you do any of this, if you're going to be heat shrinking your joints, which is something that I always recommend and we do with our batteries, you'd want to make sure that heat shrink is already cut to the right size, probably about 1 inch, and on the cable before you crimp it. That way you can just slide it down over the connector and heat that up with a heat gun. But there you go. That's pretty simple. Like if we were going to connect a battery to, say, a forklift, and the forklift had an Anderson terminal end, you're almost done at this point. You only need to repeat this process one more time with a red cable, connect these ends onto your battery and plug this into the forklift and you'd be set, you'd be good to go. But that's just one of the products we carry. I really support and believe in this one. I'm looking forward to making a lot more videos for you guys, a lot more how-to videos. I hope that in the future we can get a lot more technical into the BMS and some of the programming stuff that goes into that.